Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
Discover the heart of
The final Friday night of September brings us to Whitehall, Pennsylvania, as Allegheny 6 conference play in Class 5A gets underway tonight when the Baldwin Highlanders host the the South Fayette Lions. See what we get for talking off the air. Alongside Kevin Zielmanski, Matt Vandriak with you here. It's football Friday Night Live on TenbandTV. And Kevin, not only is it the beginning of conference play, it is also homecoming. Yes. Here at Baldwin Whitehall Area High School. Perfect night for homecoming, as we will have the homecoming festivities coming up for you live here on TenbandTV. So you'll get to see the court, the award, and the coronation of the 2025 homecoming queen.
Which are always big deals at these schools when it's that time of the year for homecoming. And it's trying to even think about all that from the past where you got to gather the votes and do all those things. But it is a memorable experience for these members of the high school that are going to be part of this court here tonight on what is a beautiful night to have some football here. Kind of end of a trying time for Baldwin as we get ready to play a game against South Fayette. Baldwin comes in still winless at 0-5. They've allowed 277 points. They've scored 32. They average out to 55.4 to 6.4.
At 55.4 against is the most of the WPIAL.
And South Fayette comes in 4-1. They've scored 156. They've allowed 110. 31.2 to 22 are their averages. So a little bit better for the Lions here tonight.
Allegheny 6 conference play getting started across the board. And, of course, the big game tonight in the Allegheny 6 is Peters Township against Upper St. Clair. And also Bethel Park and Moon will clash. Big games. Of course, Peters Township and Upper St. Clair. We're going to send it over to our PA announcer, and we'll get started here with your 2025 Baldwin homecoming.
Couple 1. Lacey Bernatus is a member of NHS and a captain on the varsity basketball team, where she has played all 4 years. She's still deciding on which college to attend, but her vision is to pursue a degree in education and become a teacher someday. Lacey credits Baldwin for preparing her for whatever the future holds. Gavin Sakeley is a dedicated 3-sport athlete competing in varsity golf, basketball, and baseball. He plans to continue his education at a 4-year university where he will pursue a degree in business and entrepreneurship. Couple 2. Isabella Niles is a proud member of NHS and Student Council. She runs cross-country and serves as a captain on the varsity basketball team. While she is still deciding on which college to attend, Isabella plans to pursue a degree in nursing. Nate Buys, a senior at Baldwin High School, serves as the captain of the varsity ice hockey team. Next year, he will be attending the University of Pittsburgh to pursue studies in pre-physical therapy. Couple 3. Mia Wise is a member of National Honor Society and a 2-year varsity captain of the volleyball team. She plans to attend college and pursue a degree in nursing. Aiden Barrett is a member of the National Honor Society and competes in track and field. After graduation, he plans to attend college and pursue a degree in engineering. Couple 4, Ann Hampton is a varsity cheerleading captain, vice president of the National Honor Society, vice president of the senior class officers, vice president of Special Olympics, and a news editor for the Perbolite. After high school, she plans to attend Duquesne University to study pharmacy. Senior Luke Sleeman plans to pursue medicine after graduation with the aspiration of becoming a physician. He's also a competitive bodybuilder, fueled equally by ambition and 250 grams of protein per day. And finally, couple 5, Molly Gorman is a varsity cross country and track and field captain, the secretary of the National Honor Society, senior class prom chair, and a chief editor on the school newspaper, The Perbolite. She plans to pursue a career in the medical field after graduation. Jackson Presto is the senior class president, competes in varsity soccer and track, and is a member of NHS. In the future, he plans to attend college to pursue a degree in economics and then go to law school and become a corporate lawyer. This year's homecoming king and queen will be announced at tomorrow's dance. How about a round of applause for this year's homecoming court?
So there's the announcement of the homecoming court, both potential kings and queens. Kevin, they must like suspense here at Baldwin Whitehall because they're going to announce the winner tomorrow night at the homecoming dance. Are you chaperoning that?
I am not. I will not be chaperoning, but I'm sure they'll have a good time tomorrow night. That was a very dramatic read and pause for the winner to be announced tomorrow night. Wonder where the homecoming dance is going to be.
Information we can find out as the evening goes on. With that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a little bit. We have opening kickoff, Baldwin and South Fayette. Class 5A, Allegheny 6 conference play coming up for you as we get ready to start conference action. Friday Night Football live coming up on TenbandTV.
Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham, score! Ethan Cunningham, hat trick, game-winning goal. The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup, and Ethan Cunningham is a local hero.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
A wonderful day!
Welcome to Temple Strength and Sport Performance, where we empower you to reach new heights in strength, speed, and athletic performance. Temple is here to support you every step of the way. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, join him in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, and discover the difference. For more information, call 412-527-1755. Start your journey with us today.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. Fiber New specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's official health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Would preventative care and screenings be an option?
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Hewitt creating space. Hewitt turning. Scoring! Penguins Cup championship for the Seneca Valley Raiders with 12:29 to play in triple overtime. And don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Pass Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Friday Night Football Live is on TenbandTV tonight from Whitehall, Pennsylvania. Conference play begins. Class 5A Allegheny 6 play gets underway as the Baldwin Highlanders host the South Fayette Lions. Alongside Kevin Zielmanski, Matt Vandriak with you here tonight. Kevin, it's homecoming at Baldwin. It's the start of conference play and a chance for the Highlanders and Lions to make their mark as we jump into what is considered by many to be the most difficult conference in the WPIAL.
Yeah, the Allegheny 6 Conference of 5A tonight you have South Fayette here against Baldwin. Elsewhere, you have a pretty big game in the conference in Peters Township in Upper St. Clair. But our focus here on this game as the Lions come in with a 4-1 record. They opened up the season with a victory at Chartiers Valley, 38-15. Then at Shaler, 35-27. Then at Cannon Mac, in a rare 3 consecutive weeks of being on the road, they lost 37-28, bounced back with a win against Elizabeth Forward, 27-24, and over Bell Vernon, 28-7. In that game against Bell Vernon, they had a 21-7 lead at halftime. And I see in the last 2 games, Matt, they have outscored their opponents in the first quarter 27-3. And we'll probably see more of the same here tonight against an undermanned Baldwin Highlanders team. With everything swirling around them, they have some players leave, so the numbers are low. And South Fayette comes in with a high-powered offense. It's going to be difficult to stop.
Yeah, the Lions want to get the good start here in conference play because, as you mentioned, on the elsewhere in the conference, the big game is Peters Township and Upper St. Clair tonight, and then also Bethel Park and Moon open up conference play versus each other as well. Of course, last year, 5 of the 6 teams in the Allegheny Six made the playoffs, and so far, besides the Fighting Highlanders, Kevin, everybody has a better than 500 record. As a matter of fact, Moon's the only team in the conference that's lost 2 games, and those 2 losses came by a combined 8 points.
Yeah, that's why it's been a challenging conference for Baldwin, because the teams in this conference are so talented. Peters Township has come a long way in about 10 years and is one of the powers now in 5A football. We mentioned they're playing St. Clair tonight. Bethel's come a long way. South Fayette was a power before.
South Fayette was a 2A team 10 years ago.
Before they went to 6 classifications, they took their lumps jumping up, and now they've got their footing. They've always had a spread offense with a good triggerman at quarterback, spreading the ball around. They continue to do that. And Moon, we saw them a couple of times early in the year on the Trib Network, and they were a couple very good wins, including one at Montour in a neighborhood rivalry. So tough conference, and South Fayette's going to kick off to the Highlanders.
Ball will return left to right to get it started. Game time temperatures here at kickoff, 71 degrees in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. We'll keep the temperature in the upper 60s all the way through. Floating kick here, going to be taken at the 20-yard line by Baldwin's Joshua Stout. Stout gets across the 30 out to about the 34, where he's taken down by a host of Lions, charge led by Gavin Schmitz. And we'll get this game started with Baldwin on the offense underneath the head coach Dana Brown. Kevin, before we get to starters, clear the air on a couple things here. Obviously, there's been a lot swirling, as you mentioned, about Baldwin this week, about the supposed asking for mercy. And here's where we stand at. Coach Brown and his team, Matt, they decided they do not want to do that. They're going to play full 12-minute quarters, play the game as it should be played, and will compete as best they can here tonight. So we'll get that out there first. I know it's made its way across social media, which is such a lovely place. As we get a handoff here to Dreon Fuller on first down, loses the football, and it's scooped up by Max Galantine, and the Highlanders lucky to get the ball back, but they're going to lose about 4 yards. Kevin, the starters for Baldwin on offense.
So across the offensive line, Richard Zielmanski, number 52, the junior. Joe Wasco, the junior, 56. Ryan Summerfield, freshman, 71. Dylan Kloskowski, senior, 77. Caleb Scheller, 66, senior. Tyler Dayub is the tight end. We're number 4, freshman. Behind center is now the sophomore Max Valentine, and behind him Dreon Fuller, the junior, wearing 6. Jordan Bryant, number 1, is the junior. Noah Sakani wearing number 3, the senior, and Mike Shobe, the senior, wearing number 2.
Loss of 3 on the play. Galantine under center, looking to run the option, gives it to Fuller, and South Fayette all over it, and making the TFL there is Anthony Charles. And Kevin, you mentioned Max Galantine, who was listed as an athlete, a guy that Dana Brown talked very favorably about as we came into the season. Looking forward to the fact that he could play pretty much every offensive position. That sure is coming in handy now because Galantine's taken over quarterback. But what you lose with that is your blocking tight end.
Yeah, and we're seeing the effects of that and the impact of that here in the first couple carries. He and Tyler Dayub were out taking some snaps beforehand to try to get a feel for it. He is under center, where I think we saw a lot of the previous quarterback was in the gun. Valentine's going to be in the gun here now with 2 behind him. They just got to try to get the line going here. 3rd and 15, handoff to the left side. Bryant trying to stretch the field, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield by the South Fayette defense. And that's Noah Lausch stepping up to make the tackle. So
The Highlanders gain nothing on the play, lose 5 total. They'll punt it away. 4th and 15 from the Baldwin 28-yard line.
With the Lions offense being such an aerial attack, the Highlanders, they need to try to get the ball on the ground and pick up some first downs as much as possible to keep the time of possession better and give the Lions less time to possess the ball for the offense to really do some damage. So any first downs would be real helpful.
Jack Steverson to punt and gets off a good kick to the far side of the field, takes a Highlanders roll across the 45 and out at about the 44-yard line. And that's where the Lions will come to the offense for the first time tonight. Kevin, before they get started, the South Fayette Lions starters underneath of head coach Marty Spieler.
Okay, on offense, Mason Green, the junior left tackle, Brady Onda, the senior left guard, Caden McShane, the junior at center, Evan Early, the sophomore right guard, Aiden Lance, the sophomore right tackle, Jacob Bostian is the sophomore tight end, Drew Welhorski is the senior wearing number 2 at quarterback, Aiden Wright, the freshman, wearing 6 in the backfield, Daniel Specca, senior receiver, Tyson Wright, senior receiver, Dylan Mons, junior receiver, Jacob Levister, senior receiver.
And here we go on first down in the Baldwin territory as Aiden Wright on his first carry across the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. Tyler Dayu makes the tackle for the Fighting Highlanders. And a big start there. That's going to be a gain of 18 on the first play from scrimmage. There's the freshman, Aiden Wright. We'll talk about him as the night goes on. One of the top freshman players in the WPIAL is number 6 in white and green. Looking to throw here. Welhorski dumps it off underneath. Catch made by Specca. Blockers in front. Specca down the sideline inside the 5. Touchdown, South Fayette. It takes 2 plays for the Lions to roar. And Daniel Specca, 38-yard touchdown pass from Drew Welhorski, gives South Fayette a 6-0 lead with 9:06 left here in the opening quarter.
Well, good design play. When Specca caught that little in-cut on the screen, he had 4 or 5 white jerseys in front of him. There were no purple jerseys to slow down and even attempt to make a tackle. And he kind of waltzed into the end zone for a 38-yard touchdown pass. Welhorski to Specca.
And now Luke Gillen on for the PAT. High snap, getting it down. Gillen's kick is up, and his kick is good. 2:54 into the opening quarter. Takes the Lions 2 plays. And they find the end zone. A 38-yard touchdown pass from Drew Welhorski to Daniel Specca takes South Fayette to a 7-0 lead here at Baldwin on homecoming. So a couple of guys, Kevin, that we talked about on that drive have had 6 very stellar seasons for the Lions. Drew Welhorski, the senior quarterback, has put up great numbers this year. And Aiden Wright, the freshman sensation, has been one of the best freshmen in the WPIAL.
Welhorski, 52 of 76, 7 touchdowns, make it 8, 1 interception, 721 yards passing. That's 7th in 5A. He'll be climbing that this week. He is a Robert Morris recruit, Matt, for lacrosse. I know a sport that you love so much.
I know you do.
Yes, I do. I like to call that as well. And as you mentioned, rushing, Aiden Wright, 41 attempts, 350 yards, and 8.5 average as a freshman.
Kickoff taken across the 20. There is Noah Sakani, and he's stacked up by a host of South Fayette special teamers. The freshman, Aiden Wright, one of the guys down there leading the charge, making that tackle.
Specca came in with 15 receptions for 293 yards, so add that 38-yard catch to his total. He's up over 300 yards and now has his 6th touchdown on the season.
So here comes Baldwin back to the offense for the second time here tonight. 3 and out, -5 yards on the opening. And we'll see what the Highlanders can do here on drive number 2. Sophomore Max Galantine, the quarterback. Bunch set, 3 backs, single receiver up to the top side. Deep back is Treon Fuller. Fuller going to get the call, lowers his shoulder up the middle, and he'll rumble forward for a couple of yards. Tackle made by the inside of the South Fayette defense. Jackson Stilley on the stop for the Lions.
Well, the hope for the Highlanders to keep this respectable and within striking distance is to find something offensively that they can move the chains quite a bit. So we'll see if they are able to find anything here today.
2 gained by Treon Fuller. Has been one of the bright spots for this Baldwin team on the season. Fuller just a junior. Good size at 5'11", 215. Saw a standout play at linebacker the last game and the previous game against West Mifflin as well. From the 22, Galantine under center. Fuller up the middle, and he'll fall forward for a couple. Tackle again made by Jackson Stilley. Kevin, you were announcing the South Fayette offensive line. I was kind of going through the lineup with you. You mentioned Aiden Lands, the sophomore. You should spell his name. It's spelled L-A-N-Z. It should be spelled L-A-N-D-Z because he takes up a lot of land. 6'4", 366 pounds.
He's got some squatter's rights. Also on the D-line is number 7, Anthony Charles. He's the defensive end committed to Minnesota, Big Ten. And Colton Astorini, wearing 67. He's an offensive tackle going to Cornell. So good on him for heading to the Ivy League.
3rd and 7 here for the Fighting Highlanders from their own 23-yard line. End around going to come here to Noah Sakani. Turns the corner. Sakani gets out near the 30, but he's going to be stopped short of the marker. Good pursuit there, Kevin, by the man you mentioned, Anthony Charles, and then Daniel Specker came in to help clean it up.
Well, that was well blocked by Baldwin right there, and Sakani did a nice job when he put his foot in the ground and cut upfield, found the hole, and was able to get. So it's going to be 4th and 1 here, and they look like they're going for it.
Nothing to lose. 4th and 1 from the Baldwin 29-yard line, and the Highlanders come out at least showing that they're going to go for it. Galantine under center, but get a tush push, and the Highlanders get the first down as Dreon Fuller, 2 hands, 2 cheeks. And he moves Galantine forward for the first down.
A lot of talk about that play in the NFL. But a sneak's a sneak. I think the only thing you could maybe do, Matt, is not allow the push from behind. That was illegal for a number of years, but now they have allowed it for the last few years. And you can see how effective it is right there with Fuller pushing Galantine from behind. They're able to pick up the first down and keep the clock moving.
Actually pick up 4 yards on it as well. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders from their 33-yard line. Galantine under center. Going to hand off around here to Bryant. Bryant caught in the backfield, and he's going to be spun down for a loss. Great pursuit there, Kevin.
Yes.
Again, you mentioned him, and now the spotlight's on him. Anthony Charles didn't make the tackle, but he broke the play up, and then the tackle was made by Jacob Austin.
He's setting the edge over there on that D-end position. I think the Highlanders got to look over center, Matt. There's on that 4-man front, there's a little bit of space there. If they just kind of push forward, I don't know how many yards you're going to get, but can maybe avoid the negative play for a bit there. But as you said, Charles is making his presence known. He on the left side. He had the backside support.
Anthony Charles, part of this strong South Fayette team that is battling, Kevin. They're one of the teams that, I mean, everybody – it's a top-heavy. It's not. It's
very competitive.
5 out of 6. Yes, it's a super competitive conference. 5 of the 6 teams made the playoffs last year, and South Fayette and Moon are better this year than they were last year. Looking to throw. Galantine down the middle has a man. Catch made by Sakani into South Fayette territory. Brought down at the 30-yard line. Max Galantine, Noah Sakani, and the Highlanders are in business.
I got so excited, Matt, to see Sakani all by himself running down the middle of the field. I kind of jumped in there. It was a good play. Sakani had to slow a bit for that pass, but they did pick up the first down, and they are to the 30-yard line of the line. So
Noah Lausch with the touchdown-saving tackle for South Fayette. And Baldwin 1st and 10 at the South Fayette 30. Galantine under center. See them using the tight set here. Single receiver up to the top side, Sakani. And that's me a little toss out here. Sakani trying to find some room. He gets to the line of scrimmage and then gets met by his counterpart in 3 as Daniel Specker stops him for no gain.
You know, Matt, when I see Sakani get the catch or the run, I think back to the conversation we had with him early in the season before the first home game, and we asked him about playing these competitive teams, these really good teams in the conference. And the quote that stuck with me is he responded, "I love it." So good for him.
Sakani with a big play, the biggest play of the night here for Baldwin. And it sets the Highlanders up at the South Fayette 30, 2nd and 10 coming up. And we'll see this new look Baldwin offense with sophomore Max Galantine at quarterback. Galantine comes out of the shotgun. I-backs this time, single wide here to the near side, 2 tight ends. Handoff going to go to Bryant. Bryant goes nowhere as South Fayette is ready for it, and the disruptive force that's number 56, Jackson Stilley, stuffs the hole.
Well, right across into the backfield. We didn't have him in the starting lineup, Matt, but I think that was 55 that was in to make that tackle for
Tyler Ring, the senior.
Tyler Ring, the senior for the Lions, was not on the list of starters given to us.
What part of the rotation, though?
Yeah, by the part of the rotation. They have a much deeper roster than Baldwin
That's an understatement.
You know, we appreciate them giving us as much information as they're willing to do.
And we're going to see players rotate in and out when you have that luxury and able to move some guys around. 3rd and 12 for Baldwin from the South Fayette 32. Looking to throw is Galantine, and he is brought down in the backfield. The South Fayette defense, Jacob Bastian, in on the sack. And the Lions snuff out Baldwin after a good start to this drive.
I know you have nothing to lose to go for it on 4th down, but I would think about maybe trying to pin the Lions deep.
Let's bring it to timeout, and Coach Dana Brown and company are going to talk it over. It's a chance to let you know that the Craft House, we want to say thank you to the Craft House Stage and Grill for being an advertising partner for Baldwin football here on TenbandTV. The Craft House brings you unforgettable nights of live music specializing in talent both close to home and from across the country. Stop by to enjoy the Craft House's menu of scrumptious, scratch-made food that will keep you coming back for more, along with a wide selection of beverage choices with something in mind for everyone. The Craft House also has late-night happy hours on Fridays and Saturdays from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., featuring half off of 20 delicious menu items. Stop by the Craft House Stage and Grill at 5024 Curry Road, or check them out online at crafthousepgh.com. Kevin, big deal at the Craft House tomorrow. I know you're excited. Steel Moon Fever, a tribute to Tom Petty, tomorrow night at the Craft House. Ironically, 8 years ago, last night, it's Tom Petty's last live concert.
Look at you, always dropping the knowledge. I'm sure that'd be pretty good, Tom Petty tribute. Tonight, no bad juju.
One of your favorites.
You know,
and you can stop by the Craft House on Sunday for the Steelers vs. Vikings Ireland watch party. Doors open at 9 a.m. Plenty of game day specials.
You camping out overnight to get a good seat for that one?
I have the best seat at my house for that one. Going forward to the Highlanders. Galantine to throw. Pressure comes across the middle. Nobody home, and it's incomplete. And the Lions brought it. There was the combination, Kevin, of 55 and 56. Tyler Ring and Jackson Stilley. And they rush Galantine, hit him as he throws it. Nearest receiver was Mike Schob. And the Lions force the TOD, and they will take possession right about where they started their last drive, 5 yards deeper. They're going to start at their own 40-yard line.
That was a good drive for Baldwin. They picked up 2 first downs. They possessed it from 8:59 to 2:57.
So 6 minutes and 2 seconds.
6 minutes and 2 seconds.
It's half a quarter.
It's a good drive for the Highlanders.
Looking to throw, swinging it out of the backfield. Catch made! Ew, and then the ball's popped up in the air. And cue up the AC/DC. Noah Sakani introduced himself to the South Fayette receiver who just got thunderstruck.
And it was a good read by Sakani. He saw that screen, that wide receiver screen out there, and whenever
Dylan Mons was the man who did not like the introduction Sakani made.
When things are going badly for you, you make a good play and the ball pops up in the air to a South Fayette line other receiver who.
Specka pulled it down, and then Dylan Klikowski tackled him for a loss. So good start there for the Baldwin defense. Loss of 3 on the play, and a false start against the Lions has the South Fayette offense on the second drive trending in the wrong direction.
So, Matt, while we have a quick chance here, hat tip or stick tap, and what you and I like to talk about, to all the people from the Baldwin community here to support the team on homecoming night in the stands.
Indeed, nice night for football. And looks like Baldwin's going to give those 5 back as a little too aggressive on the outside. And so we're going to move it back to 2nd and 13 instead of 2nd and 18. It's one thing the Highlanders have struggled with this year, Kevin, is these pre-snap penalties on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, well, Horsky picked up a free 5 right there to get back when he lost on the penalty.
Out of the gun, Horsky to throw. Sets up the screen underneath. Catch made by Bo Stover. Shake and bake. First down across midfield. Coming back to the near side. Stover breaks another tackle inside the 30, the 25, and he's brought down at the 20 on a touchdown-saving tackle by Tyler Dayub. But Bo Stover, the senior, big play for the Lions.
Thought the moment there he was going to pinball his way down the field into the end zone. That ball is spotted on the 37. So when they spot this on the, where are we putting this, the 21?
21.
So 13, 23, 33, 41 yards on that completion and run.
Out of the shotgun now, looking to throw. Wilhorski has time. Backside pressure coming. Steps up, fires, has a man on the cross. Here's the hands, and it's intercepted. Back the other way for Baldwin is Noah Sakani, and he gets to the 30-yard line. So coming across the field there, Kevin, was Specca, and it went through his hands right into the hands of Noah Sakani. And Noah Sakani, a couple of big plays on both sides of the ball for the Highlanders here so far tonight.
Well, Matt, after he made the play and the ball popped in the air to Alines on the first play, this time I think the football gods acknowledged this Sakani made a nice play, and they let one pop right into his hands for the turnover for the Highlanders, and they're going to take over on their own 30-yard line after allowing a first down for the Lions on the big play. With 1:39 to go here, they got their third possession of this quarter, and with a chance to at least run this quarter out, be down 7-0, entering the second.
Let's see what the Highlanders can do here.
Yeah.
That last drive, Kevin, you mentioned, over 6 minutes. So here they go. Max Galantine, the sophomore, under center.
It's always less tiring to be on offense, Matt.
Indeed. Of course, many of the Highlanders playing both ways. Galantine, hands off up the middle, and the sledding tough. That was Joe Coates who got the call. And Coates gets wrapped up by the defense of South Fayette. And that was Ring again. The interior of the South Fayette defensive line, Kevin, especially Ring and Stilley, they have made the sledding tough for the Highlanders here tonight.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a chance to set them up for a middle screen, right, where you let them in and you have Sakani come behind them and pop it over them for pick up a first down, maybe.
Sakani going to take a well-deserved breather on this play as he pops out, and we see he's checking into the game, Brody Schaefer for Baldwin.
The Lions want to go quickly in the play clock, and the Highlanders, I think, are going to do well to use the full play clock to give those two-way players some seconds to rest.
And also, how do you keep a high-powered offense from scoring? Keep them off the field.
Yeah, keep their defense on the field.
2nd and 9 for Baldwin from the Highlanders' 31-yard line. Galantine hands off to Fuller. Fuller tries the right side, and he'll push forward for a yard. Tackle made by Anthony Charles. Stilley in on the stop as well. So we've mentioned those names quite a few times.
Do not have to snap it here, I don't think.
3rd and 8 coming up for the Highlanders, and you're right, 33 seconds on the play clock, 24 left on the quarter clock, so that may be our final play of this opening quarter. And Kevin, if you're looking for positives, your Baldwin, this is your best start of the season. It's your best first quarter of the season.
It is, and I talked about the advantage that South Fayette had in the first quarter of the last two games, I think it was 28-3 or 27-3.
27-3.
So now it's 34-3, but I think you got to be happy with this if you're the Baldwin coaching staff.
With that, we will take a break. 1 quarter in the books here from Baldwin Area High School. Your score after 1, it's South Fayette 7 and Baldwin nothing. Allegheny 6 conference play underway. You're watching Friday Night Football live on TenbandTV. Back here at Baldwin, getting ready to get the second quarter underway. The Highlanders trailing South Fayette 7-0 in this Allegheny 6 conference opener. Teams switch sides. Baldwin right to left, 3rd and 8 to get it started. Floor gets the call, and South Fayette ready for it. So it'll be 4th down and long. Matt Vandriak, Kevin Zielmanski with you. Friday Night Football live here on TenbandTV. And Kevin, a 7-0 deficit, by far the best quarter that Baldwin has played this season, but that's no good as Noah Sakani's down.
Yeah, he's one of your main threats out there offensively. Sakani and Fuller are your playmakers if you're the Highlanders, and this is one of the things with having a short roster, Matt, playing a lot of minutes, is you become more vulnerable and susceptible to cramps and injuries and all those things. So hopefully that's not serious, but to your point, with all the noise surrounding the program, getting out of the first quarter down 7-0 is not too bad for Baldwin.
Well, the staff's out there to attend to Noah Sakani. I think we'll take a timeout here. Take a break. We'll be right back. Second quarter just underway. 11:47 left in the opening half. You're watching Baldwin and South Fayette here on TenbandTV. Back here at Baldwin, and Noah Sakani able to walk off on his own. Kevin May got the wind knocked out of him there.
He's got his left hand on his number 3 and his right hand on his back. So I don't know if he got twisted.
Sakani with a couple of big plays here tonight for the Highlanders. Had the big pass reception, then an interception, had the big hit as well. So looks like he may just have lost some wind there as he's
yes, possible
on the side. So ball with the 4th and 7. And setting up that they're going to punt it here. And Steverson will take it. High kick here to the near side of the field. Takes a fielded by one of the up men. Fair catch made by South Fayette's Alex Deans. And the Lions will start at their own 46-yard line. So you see that set that we've seen Baldwin use throughout the season, Kevin, on 4th down, where they keep the quarterback out there. And then
yeah, they don't really have a true punter. They just kind of do with whomever.
Steverson's been handling it here tonight, the senior.
Stevenson's handling it. The previous quarterback would sometimes do it.
Gallantine's done it as well.
Yep.
South Fayette, good field position to start. 1st and 10 from their 46-yard line. Under center here is Drew Wilhorski. And we got some pre-snap whistles.
I don't know if they have 12 or it's a sideline warning. Oh, it's 12.
I think Baldwin had one too many out there, so Joshua Stout going to step out. It's going to be a penalty as well. Sakani still being worked on the sideline. And South Fayette with the free 5 moves into Baldwin territory at the Highlanders' 49-yard line. 1st and 5. 35 seconds into this second quarter. South Fayette leads 7-0. 38-yard touchdown pass from Drew Wilhorski to Daniel Specca. Got it started for the Lions in quarter number 1. Here comes the handoff right off the right side. Breaking tackles inside the 40, inside the 35, spins inside the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, South Fayette. Aiden Wright, the freshman, was half man, half amazing on that 49-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, man, Fuller had him, and instead of wrapping, he tried to bounce him down to the ground, and Aiden Wright with just incredible feet in that run with the ability to stay on his feet and not get tackled when he was contacted, and the ability to spin and stay inside the hash marks. Inside out, not go out of bounds is what I'm trying to say, and go into the end zone.
Gillen on for the PAT. His kick is up. He's 2 for 2 on the night. And another big play for the Lions. Early in the second quarter, 49-yard touchdown run by the freshman Aiden Wright. Making Ric Flair proud on that one, Kevin, because he was going to dance all night long. Woo!
That he did, Matt, for sure.
Old Ric Flair, new Ric Flair. There's a lot of things that he could do better than Ric Flair. He's in a very sad state. But if you're a wrestling fan, you feel sorry for the Nature Boy, kind of. Thanks to Legacy Lanes for their sponsorship of Baldwin High School football here on TenbandTV. Everyone loves to bowl, so why not do it while celebrating your birthday? Birthday party packages are available now. Legacy Lanes also offers online reservations. Just go to their website at legacylanes.us and make your reservation for some bowling fun. There are also opportunities to join league play year-round. Visit Legacy Lanes at 5024 Curry Road or give them a call at 412-653-2695.
Aiden Wright or Ric Flair in bowling.
Mix it all together. From the 10 on the return to the near side, trying to find some room for Baldwin and lowering his shoulder across the 25 out to the 28-yard line is Joshua Stout. So Stout, one of the seniors. He's stopped by Ray Schuler after a nice return. So the Highlanders have been Jekyll and Hyde here tonight, Kevin. 1 3 and out, one long drive that took a lot of time off the clock. And then a holding call against the Highlanders not going to help. But South Fayette had the big play on the opening drive. Baldwin got the turnover in the next one, and then another big play for South Fayette. It's something that Dana Brown said to us a lot this season. We got to look in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror when things go wrong. And as you said on that touchdown run by Wright, multiple players had a chance to make tackles, but instead of wrapping up, trying to get that, the bigger hit, the contact.
Or the strip or something that wasn't fundamentally a tackle. And when you're trying to build a team, build a program, you got to start with the basics, the fundamentals. And so Baldwin back on offense. This is their fourth drive.
And this hold cost them 18 yards. It's going to 15 yards. It pushed them back to the 15. Low snap. Galantine scoops it up, and it's picked off out of the air by South Fayette to the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. That's Tyson Wright, who has the right stuff, taking it out of the air and then to the end zone. 10-yard interception return, and the Lions strike on defense, and they now lead 20-0.
Well, they try to set up the screen, and when you don't get to the quarterback or they try to send it quickly, what do? You put your hands in the air. And
wave them like you just don't care. That's tomorrow at the Craft House.
I was thinking that and wasn't going to say it, but you said it. And Tyson Wright gets the pick 6 from the defensive end position.
PAT here for Luke Gillen. Out of the hold of Braden Plasko. And Baldwin called for an illegal substitution, so South Fayette going to keep the kicking team out there despite the penalty being half the distance of the goal. Good news is that Sakani, who had taken his jersey off, I think to get checked, has his gear back on, so it looks like he's going to be able to get back into this one for the Highlanders. PAT for Luke Gillen, and flags fly again.
Offsides on the right defensive side. It was longtime coach Joe Rossi that really got this program going forward, Matt. And he stepped away a few years ago because his son was playing, I believe, at Princeton somewhere. Might have the wrong school.
Well, it was Joe Rossi Sr. who actually really started the resurgence back when this was a smaller school. I lived in the district back then. And to watch this team grow to what it became.
The school district grow, too.
Yeah, you're telling me. PAT up here by Gillen, but as you were saying, Coach Rossi's father was a longtime coach, and then he moved into the AD position when his son came on to take over under the headsets. And with that, South Fayette grew both exponentially in population and also in enrollment. And then they moved up. So South Fayette was playing in the old days of 4 classifications. The Lions were a 2A school. Back when I was in high school, South Fayette was a 1A school. back in the 90s. Then they moved to 2A and were established themselves. A great run in 2A. A couple of really memorable championship games against Aliquippa down at Heinz Field, then Heinz Field.
6 WPIAL titles in 2A, 2010, 2013, 2014. In 4A,
2018, they beat Thomas Jefferson in what was one of the best championship games I called.
But way back, so in 1A in 1936 and 1964. Were you on the call for the 36 game?
I was 40 years before my time. I was negative 40 at that point. I don't get to say that too often anymore.
That's why I set you up to say that one.
Gillen kicking off, taken from the 10-yard line. Coming out here to the near side is Stout. Across the 20, stutter steps, lowers his shoulder, and he gets out to the 24-yard line. Tackle made by South Fayette's Aiden Wright. So the freshman working the whole field. Kevin out there playing some special teams as well. But anyway, the growth of South Fayette, they originally moved up from 2A, I believe you said it was 2018?
2018,
so they jumped from 2A. Yeah, so I think they went from 2A to 3A, then to 4A, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but 16-17 was the first 6 classification cycle. So I think they were 3A, then they jumped to 4A the next year and beat Thomas Jefferson in a very memorable championship game. I had the pleasure of calling that game at what was then Heinz Field. And South Fayette had a player named Mike Trimber, who had a tremendous game in that championship win over Thomas Jefferson. And Kevin, you'll be happy to know he had the best head of hair on the field that night too.
Which is important to you.
Very important. Someday, a shampoo sponsor is going to want to be sponsoring the main of the game on one of these networks. Off the right side, we see Dreon Fuller get the call, and he gets a couple.
That's a head and shoulders spot waiting to happen, just like Palomalu around here. But back to the growth. I mean, if you're of an age and you just follow the housing construction and the real estate transactions, I mean, you could follow the school districts that are growing, that are going to be good as the population moves there. South Fayette's one, and Peters Township is one in the South Hills.
Fuller up the gut, strong run across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. Tackle made on the play by South Fayette's Bryce Watkins. Yeah, Kevin, I lived in South Fayette from 2005 through 2010, and if I would have invested in some property back then.
It would have made a good move. Yeah. You had other priorities back then.
Work took me away from that area and ended up moving me into Westmoreland County. So the commute was not feasible. And looking back at it, I should have just quit the job and bought the property. But, what are you going to do?
You don't think like that back then?
No, it's a little less mature back then as well. 3rd and 2 for Baldwin. They're going to be at their own 31-yard line. So we approach 9.5 left here in the opening half. Fuller gets the call. South Fayette ready for it. Fuller breaks the tackle, now pushing him backwards, and a nice tackle there by Tyson Wright. Ball loose. Lions back the other way, and they're going to score. Alex Dean scooped it up.
I think it's Charles with the football in his hands.
It was Anthony Charles on the return, but it was Tyson Wright.
With a form tackle.
Yeah, the senior linebacker just would not let Fuller go, and then you want to see the perfect definition of what a stick is. That is exactly what Tyson Wright did. Forced the ball loose. I thought it was Dean's, but it was Anthony Charles who's been on the spot. And Charles takes it to the house. Second defensive score of the quarter for South Fayette. And the lead now 27-0 Lions.
Well, Fuller looked like he was going to have a chance to bounce that one outside and pick up a first down, Matt. He only needed a couple. He took the contact running inside, looked to bounce it out, but what a great tackle. Dislodged the football, and Charles was the beneficiary. He picked it up for the scoop and score from 24 yards out.
And the PAT here for Gillen. He's going to try yet another. His 4th now of the night. Good snap, good hold. Gillen's kick is up, and it is good as well. 7-0 was the score after the first quarter. South Fayette with 21 points on the board in quarter number 2, including back-to-back defensive scores, have pushed this one to where it is now with 9:18 left in the opening half. It's South Fayette 28 and Baldwin nothing. TenbandTV has broadcast sponsorship opportunities available now for your business or organization. As a TenbandTV sponsor, your brand isn't just a logo on a banner. It's integrated into the experience. With actionable QR ads and detailed analytics, TenbandTV ensures that your sponsorship makes an impact. Check out shop10bandmedia.com to see our advertising packages or email sales@10bandmedia.com for more information. Saw that earlier. And South Fayette going to kick it off. We'll get to that. I'm sure we'll have some time. Yes, it's going to be kicked off here by Luke Gillen. And he hammers this kick. Return man driven all the way back through the hands of the 5-yard line. That's Earl Carter. Carter trying to stretch the field. And he gets across the 10 out to about the 13 where he is gang tackled by the Lions.
Well, he didn't have a chance there. He does have to catch it, but I was watching the coverage, and there were a couple purple jerseys that just watched white jerseys run past them, and that makes it hard to gain any yardage there. So they're going to spot this one inside the 10, I believe, at the Baldwin.
Like it's right at the
8-yard line, which is terrible field position. As my drive chart that usually bounces back and forth is getting longer on the Baldwin side than the Lions side because the Lions offense hasn't been on the field in a bit.
Yeah, Baldwin would be happy to keep the South Fayette offense off the field, but not when the defense is scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the plan we were talking about. The recipe was to keep the offense off the field, but not give the defense 2 touchdowns.
From the 8-yard line, the Highlanders come to the offense. Out of the shotgun here is Max Galantine. I-backs behind him this time. Low snap. Galantine tossing it back. And trying to come here to the near side is Sakani. Sakani cuts back. He's going to lose a couple, but he made something out of nothing because that play was broken from the start. Tackle made by Braden Plasko for South Fayette.
The freshman Ryan Summerfield is the new center today, and he's given the quarterback Valentine some low snaps when he's in the gun.
Yeah, I might as well talk about that. Some injuries along the line have the Lions shuffling. So Summerfield at center because Nick Hushak's out, the senior, this week. So that means some guys are moving around. Dylan Klakowski is at left guard. Caleb Scheller at right tackle, the other senior. And then Joe Wasco at right guard and Richard Zwolinski at left tackle. Well, if there's anything you can say about the Highlanders' offensive line, they're versatile because we've seen a lot of these guys play a lot of different positions throughout the season here. If there's a negative you can say, you've had a lot of guys play a lot of different positions here.
It's by necessity as they are position flexibility, right? That's what we hear from the Pirates all the time. It's not a good thing there, but here it's necessary.
Then we had a timeout before the play. And we did. The Highlanders will take it. Kevin, we take a look at this Allegheny 6 conference. And remember last year, South Fayette and Moon played each other the last game of the regular season. Many people thought that was going to be a play-in game. The winner was in, the loser was going home. But the WPIAL, moving in the right direction, got rid of the Gardner points and brought in a playoff steering committee last year who decided that 5 teams from the Allegheny 6 conference deserved to make the playoffs. I would say rightfully so. So both the Lions and the Tigers made the playoffs the last night of the regular season. No Bears, oh my.
I was waiting again to see if I was going to get that one, but you took it. But let's look at some of the other conferences that are already in the play. The Big East, Gateway's at top at 2-0 in the conference, 2-3 overall. Woodland Hills, Armstrong, Penn Trafford. Woodland Hills, Armstrong 1-0. Penn Trafford, Latrobe 1-1. Kiski area, Franklin Regional 0-2. And in the Northeast Conference, Pine Richland leads at 2-0. Penn Hills, Shaler both undefeated 1-0. North Hills 1-1. Fox Chapel and Plum 0-2. Fox Chapel playing Pine Richland tonight, and they were worried about
the same
that
deal
one getting out of hand.
Yep. So they're going to play that game. The first quarter is 12 minutes. And then they're playing an 8-minute quarter in the second, and then they'll see what makes more sense in the second half, shortened quarters, or if Pine Richland's up by 35 to go to the running clock.
WPIAL, give the PIHL a call. We can help you out with
They sure can. We'll talk about that tonight as well. Toss sweep going to go here to Sakani, trying to find some room. Flags flying as he is across the 10 out to about the 11, and was chased down the play there by South Fayette's Bryce Watkins, holding against Baldwin. I have a eye doctor's appointment next Saturday, and I can't wait because I need new contacts because I cannot see anything out here tonight.
Well, we don't have the sun into the second half anymore.
I would rather have the sun. I can at least read the numbers.
Right. Now, I do have
I might need this.
binoculars over here if you need.
Oh, yeah, I might need binoculars, bifocals. LASIK, whatever you got.
We're going to have a halftime deal on LASIK surgery. We're going to perform it down the end here.
Yeah. I've put it off for a long time, but I think I've hit the point where that might be the next step. By the way, any eye doctors out there who want a sponsorship opportunity, TenbandTV. Shop TenbandMedia.com. And you can give me half off my LASIK surgery, and I'll get you the best deal in broadcasting.
You're more brave than me. I don't know if I would consider
I'm in the same boat. It might be 99.9% accurate, but I'm afraid of the 0.1%.
Another flag.
And I mean, if it was only in one eye, I could always wear an eye patch and be a pirate.
But I don't want to be a pirate.
I don't either. Not one in real life or one of the baseball players here in this city.
That was a line that Jerry said on Seinfeld.
I remember. The puffy shirt.
The puffy shirt. Sorry, it was just right there on the
You can't pass the opportunity up. Maybe you should wear a puffy shirt for one of the games this season. Do you have any of those?
I don't believe I do.
How about culottes? You have any culottes? Jared didn't like the culottes either. Off the left side, Fuller, and he'll push out to about the 5. Tackle made by the inside of the Lions defense, and that was Colton Cloherty, the inside linebacker, senior, making first contact for South Fayette.
Well, it was a good first quarter.
Sure was.
But this one's not moving as quickly, and the offense is not operating.
Trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah, trending in the wrong direction is a good phraseology right there.
So Baldwin will be faced with a 3rd down and 14 from their own 4-yard line, and man short isn't going to help get the job done. And now, as Genesis said in the 80s and Disturbed covered in 2006, we're in a land of confusion out there. And we're going to get a stop. Timeout on the play. I believe the Highlanders need it because they were not sure what the set was, which gives us the chance to let you know. We want to thank the Craft House Stage and Grill for being an advertising partner for Baldwin football here on TenbandTV. The Craft House does not do LASIK surgery, but they bring you unforgettable nights of live music, specializing in talent both close to home and across the country. Stop by to enjoy the Craft House's menu of scrumptious, scratch-made food that will keep you coming back for more, along with a wide selection of beverage choices with something in mind for everyone. The Craft House also has late-night happy hour on Fridays and Saturdays from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., featuring half off of 20 delicious menu items. Stop by the Craft House Stage and Grill at 5024 Curry Road, or check them out online at crafthousepgh.com.
No LASIK surgery there, but they do have beer goggles.
And they do. They do. Perhaps tonight during No Bad Juju. Tomorrow, Steel Moon Fever, a tribute to Tom Petty. Doors open at 6 p.m. Showtime 8 p.m. for that one. And Sunday morning, starting bright and early. That's right, stop by the Craft House for the Steelers vs. Vikings Ireland Watch Party. Doors open at 9 a.m. with plenty of game day specials.
Matt has got the plan for Sunday morning. He's got like kegs and eggs working.
Yeah, that's not, unfortunately, the Craft House, I'm not going to make it because I have my own thing going. It's called Hams and Eggs.
Hams and Eggs.
Hams with 2 M's. In honor of hams. Yeah. Check it out.
Which is a alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, it's not a favorite of many. But, yeah, why not? Here comes the toss to the near side. Bryant is going to be tracked down. South Fayette brings the heat on defense. And the tackle made by the Lions, Braden Plasko. And the situation here where the Highlanders have to kick it away.
So there was a picture of over in Dublin of a pop-up or store selling Steelers Irish gear. And my wife said she saw a picture and the line was like wrapped so far around. A lot of Yinzers over in Dublin.
Here's the punt from Steverson. Takes a good bounce. Going to be fielded at the 45-yard line by Deans. He finds some room at the left sideline in the Baldwin territory. Ran out at the Highlanders' 25-yard line. Tackle made by Baldwin's Ryan Summerfield, but the Lions are in business as well. And a break for Baldwin. Yes. Block in the back, so that's going to ends up costing the Highlanders almost 20. It's going to move them back to the 40. They would have been setting up toward the 21.
Foul is at the 40, so we're going to go 10 there to
so we're going to take it back to midfield almost.
midfield or their own 45. I can't remember. It's 10. It's 10.
So that is a loss of almost 30 yards for South Fayette as they get ready to take the offense. First time in a while. Aaron Lewis from Stain said that, Kevin. It's been a while for the offense.
11-14 in the second quarter is when they scored their touchdown on offense.
So almost 6 minutes ago. And here comes the QB keeper. Actually, it's going to be an end around to the near side and moving forward there for the Lions as Bo Stover had that nice run in the opening quarter. A great sell there by Drew Welhorski. It's not easy, actually it is, to fool me, and he did. Usually it's not when I can see better. But
good use of the hands. That's why he's a good lacrosse player. I've seen him play lacrosse when he was at Upper St. Clair in the spring. He's a good player, and he's going to be playing for the Colonials, which is the Division I program. But a good tackle there by Valentin.
And here we go. Lions in Baldwin territory, looking to throw. Welhorski has a man open down the sideline and overshoots his intended target. Dylan Mons got open underneath, Kevin, and just a little too strong on the toss was Welhorski on that one.
Well, they brought him in motion and sent him on a wheel route. And the corner over here also had someone running a go route, so they put the defense in conflict. And Welhorski had a deep pass and a short pass, and he overthrew the short one, which was they were both wide open. So missed that one. They do score on this possession. We would get a running clock in the second half.
We would. South Fayette also gets the ball to start the second half. Handoff to the left side. Stover gets to the marker, and then a nice open field tackle by Joe Coates. But I think Bo Stover has enough to move the sticks. Fresh set for the Lions at the Baldwin 40-yard line. Trying to get some scores, Kevin. I'll try to update that here. We only have 2 games because conference play starts. So Allegheny 6. We have tonight's game here between 2. Peters Township and Upper St. Clair, the big game. And then Bethel Park and Moon clashing tonight in the South Hills as well. 4-4s on the second quarter clock. Welhorski out of the gun, looking to throw. Has some time, has a man on the far side. Catch made, first down, breaking a tackle inside the 20, inside the 15, still going inside the 10. And down to the 5. That's Daniel Specca, the senior who has already found the end zone here tonight. And Specca, a little shake and bake there, Kevin. And it's going to be first and goal for South Fayette.
I wonder if he's related to the Anthony Specca that was a good player.
I believe that he was. I believe that he is. I believe so. I think that Anthony was his older brother. Anthony played at Central Catholic. Can't confirm that, but we'll try to. Under center. Here comes the handoff up the middle. Right, cuts to the end zone. Touchdown, South Fayette. And it's Bo Stover to the house. Through the Baldwin defense like a hot knife through butter. 10-yard touchdown run, and the Lions have a 34-0 lead with 4:11 left here in the second quarter. Kevin used to have to dial 411 before you dig.
Was that him? Was it
was
right?
11. It was Stover.
So, thank you. I couldn't tell who it was.
I thought it was right at first as well, but PAT here for Luke Gillen out of the hold of Braden Plesko. Good snap, gets it down, kick up, kick good. And it is 35-0 South Fayette. Dial 411 before you dig. That's what you're supposed to do. And I think the Lions right now have the Highlanders number and then some, as they have turned what was a 7-0 game after the first quarter into a 35-0 lead. 2 defensive scores for South Fayette here in this second quarter. And the Lions pulling away from this one. And should this score maintain for the next 4:11, more or less, if the Highlanders don't score before halftime, then cue up Uncle Jesse from Full House. It's time to have mercy. And when we get a break, we're going to talk a little bit about mercy rule and about some of the things that went on in the WPIAL this week. It's not just here at Baldwin where we have a situation that was reported kind of wrongly. My own thoughts on that as well. I think everybody's in such a hurry to talk. People need to learn how to listen more, especially if you're in the media.
That might be one of the more surprising things I've ever heard you say.
Kickoff deep from the 10-yard line. And that is Stout coming here to the near side, and he lowers the shoulder and gets bumped out on the near side. That's 21 for the Lions over there, Dylan Mons. I'll tell you what, Joshua Stout is not afraid of contact. Kevin, and an aptly name for the senior running back. He is stout, 5'7", 175. Every kickoff he's returned, he has initiated contact on the defenders.
That's true. One time he leveled someone and got up and walked over him, which we see in football all the time, which they really should not. I wish they wouldn't do that, but that kind of fires up your opponent. When you're down big, you don't want to do that anymore. But yes, he has accepted the challenge of the kick returns and absorbing the contact.
4:03 left in the opening half. Highlanders trying to get something going here. Had one really positive offensive drive. Of course, Sakani getting shaken up didn't help. Looks like a broken play. Galantine is going to be roped, stripped, but the ball out of bounds. Good step up there by Luca Romanelli for South Fayette. So we start to see some of the second teamers into the game here for the Lions.
Misdirection. Faked the handoff. Was able to get around the end. The end bit on the handoff, and a positive gain, not a big gain, but picked up 3.
I know, like I've mentioned, I'm not joking. My eyesight is not what it once was, but I'm 100% sure that the guys I'm seeing making the tackles on the near side of the field and what they're announcing, I'm right. You can double check me. You have both glasses and binoculars, so I mean, you got the extra sets of eyes, double.
I got readers.
Yeah.
But the buttocks can help over there. I'll use them to try to get the number identification here.
2nd and 8, 2 yards gain by Galantine, and the snap not ready. Ball on the ground. Lions have it, and they're going to spot the defender down at the 2-yard line as Braden Plasko with the recovery.
Just a bad snap over the head. So 3rd turnover of this first half for Baldwin.
And that's going to set the Lions up 1st and goal at the Baldwin 1-yard line. So, self-inflicted wounds, the Highlanders. Of course, we had a chance to talk to Dana Brown before the game for a little bit, Kevin. I had a chance to really have a good conversation with him last night, most of which was not for journalist purposes, but for us to have a conversation about football and the overall well-being of some things. And very positive still, though, this evening, even though he said we're moving everybody around. QB keeper and pushing into the end zone here is Braden Plasko. So Plasko in at quarterback. And he pushes it in from a yard out. One play after the turnover. And into the end zone for the Lions is Braden Plasko. The score now 41-0 in favor of South Fayette with 3:11 left on the clock. And unlike the band, it does not feel so good right now for Baldwin. However, South Fayette is definitely down. I can keep going. It's been a beautiful disaster for the Highlanders. PAT up, and it is good, as Gillen is 5 for 5 on extra points. So, Kevin, we'll do it now when we have a chance to talk about it. So you saw the newspaper article, the paper that made its way across the WPIAL about Baldwin asking for mercy was the way it was phrased. That's a terrible way to phrase an article, first of all. Secondly, that was not the case. The Highlanders had some parents concerned because of their numbers, and they asked, what is the safety contingent plan, because we don't want anyone getting seriously hurt in these one-sided games. So Baldwin and their athletic department were essentially having their doors beaten down about this and had to come up with something. So they pitched a couple of ideas out there, which were sent to the other athletic directors in the conference in confidentiality. And somehow that got out into the media, and then Baldwin Athletic Director Tony Cherico, who we really love and appreciate all of his work, did an interview to clear the air a little bit about what it was. And I had a chance to talk to Coach Brown about stuff last night, and pretty much said that, we never said that we wanted to start games with a short clock or be given mercy rule in the first half. We just were exploring options. As we saw a fake reverse on the kickoff there, Sakani keeps it, and he is brought down by the South Fayette special teams. But the Highlanders, they had a team meeting after that came out, and Coach Brown and his players decided that they want to play 12-minute quarters, and if the game gets to where it's not competitive, then the mercy rule takes place in the second half as it would. Then you started seeing other follow-up stuff, trashing Baldwin, talking about the adults quitting on their team and stuff like that. Again, listen before you talk, if you're in the media especially, because 2 days later, Fox Chapel asked for the same thing. Springdale postponed their game this week because they don't have enough players, and they may end up postponing next week as well because they had 20 healthy players on their roster and we're down to 12 this week. So there's things going on. Unless you're following the program directly or have actual inside intel, maybe ask questions before you talk about it. Off the soapbox now. Sakady makes the catch. Sakady with blockers. Sakady is going the distance. Touchdown, Baldwin. 87-yard touchdown strike. Max Galantine. Noah Sakady. Big play for the Highlanders, and they're on the board.
Well, it was kind of floated up there, Matt. And again, Sakady was able to come down with it as the Lions went for the interception, and he turned and had nothing but open field in front of him, and he had the speed to take it the distance for a touchdown for the Highlanders. When we get back to the offensive possession, I'm just going to add one thought.
Absolutely. PAT is going to be tried here by Jack Zugates. And his line drive kick is good. I believe that's Baldwin's first PAT of the season. Big 67. What'd you say, Kevin? Raise your hands in the air. Wave them like you don't care, big fella. Through the uprights, the PAT, so Baldwin feeling good at the end of the half. They cut the deficit to 41-7. But Noah Sakady here on homecoming is having a coming out party for the Highlanders.
He's got the right attitude, and he's tough, Matt. Like I mentioned, we talked to him before the season. He didn't have a lot to say, but he said that he likes playing these really talented teams, and we've seen him make an impact on this game, at least try. He's had a big catch earlier that didn't go the distance, and that time it did. He won what was since a jump ball and took it 87 yards for a touchdown.
Seen a couple of nice throws from Max Galantine here tonight, too, in his second game at quarterback. Galantine last week split time with Tyler Dayub. Of course, talked about Galantine through the season here on Baldwin Broadcast. Coach Dana Brown really likes him because he's a very versatile player who literally can play every position on the field. Listed as an athlete. We've seen him play tight end, receiver, running back, now quarterback. And Coach Brown said if he needed to, he could play the offensive line. I don't see too many centers throwing 87-yard touchdown passes, but I don't know.
So my add-on to that, Matt, is shame on the ADs that received that and broke the confidentiality of what was intended, professional confidentiality.
Exactly.
That is unnecessary.
Kick fielded by one of the up men here for South Fayette. That's Jacob Bastian. And he gets across the 45 out to about the 47-yard line. Tackle made by Baldwin's Earl Carter. And when I was talking about, journalists and listening, that was a no reference at all to Post-Gazette's Mike White, who is the best as far as scribes go around here. He had an article that he had to write, and he had a very fair article where he reached out to Tony Cherico, and they did an interview where they could talk about the situation. The first mistake, as you said, Kevin, was that should not have been released. The second mistake was the follow-up stuff that started crucifying and pouring it on a Baldwin program that's already struggling this year.
Well, there's
social media. Some people say it's a voice for the voiceless. I'll say it's a place where cowards can run their mouths with no repercussions.
Yeah, I read a column of someone I know that I'll talk to when I see, but you got to be here to see it before you criticize what's going on.
Got some backups in the game for South Fayette, and down the far sideline is Sean Rowland. And like Limp Bizkit said in 2000, he was rolling for a first down.
Yeah, our boards with starters is not going to help us now as they are into the second teamers.
Yeah, the Lions have a big roster. We're going to try our best to keep up with it because a very classy act here by Marty Spieler and South Fayette. They got their starters in. They did what they do. Got a big lead, and they're going to give the JV a chance to jump in here in the second quarter. As we see backup quarterback Braden Plasko, who has a touchdown.
Or at least maybe they may not be JV players, but they're at least the second on the depth chart.
Yeah.
Is what I was trying to say.
And I said, obviously, we are covering the Highlanders and going to have a little bit of, partiality towards the team that we've worked with this season. But, you look in the field. Look at the sideline disparity.
Baldwin looks like a 1 or 2A.
The Highlanders are doing everything they can just to not forfeit games. So at least they can play and their opponents can play. Galantine into the backfield, and he and Dreon Fuller make a rolling sandwich.
Penetration into the backfield on that one. 2 Highlanders for the tackle for loss.
And we're down to 2:15 left here in the opening half. South Fayette will get the ball to start the second half. If this score maintains, we will have a running clock in the second half as well. That is not asked for. That is part of the WPIAL rule.
Yeah, if you're not local and you're not a fan of hockey, I mentioned the PIAL.
We're going to talk about that too.
Which I'm heavily involved in. They do something differently we can discuss in the second half.
They also do that in other states and districts. Washington, D.C. being an area where they do such a thing, where they move teams up and down based not just on enrollment, but on roster size and success. Here comes Roland running into Dreon Fuller. And Fuller showing his chops on defense. Been impressed with Fuller this season, Kevin. Good size, 5'11", 215 pounds, just a junior. He's a no-nonsense runner, if you will. Fuller puts the shoulder down and moves himself forward, but I've been very impressed with the way he plays defense. He pursues the ball very well.
Yeah, he's a really good defensive player. In his offense, he's more of an old-school fullback, straight-ahead runner.
3rd and 11 from the Baldwin 39-yard line as we approach 70 seconds left here in this opening half. Braden Plasko out of the gun. Sean Rowland the deep back. And Rowland will get the carry. Actually, nice fake. Plasko, the second South Fayette quarterback to fake me out tonight, going to call his own number, and he gets popped. Stepping up and bringing the boom, Brody Schaefer.
That was like 2 Rams battering.
That was Plasko tried to lower his shoulder, and Schaefer, who's 5'6", 150,
met the challenge.
Yeah, I'm not into like, I'm not understanding of mathematics and stuff, but I know one thing going way back to when I was a younger man, the lower man in football always wins, and Schaefer was the lower man and won there.
There's like
geometry.
There's an equation about mass and force right there that it's not coming to mind right now.
No, but force, mass, pain. I think it's something like that. South Fayette is going to let the clock run down. They're going to take a penalty on what will be our final play of this. They're going to take a timeout on what's going to be our final play here of this opening half, and that gives us a chance to say thanks to Legacy Lanes for their sponsorship of Baldwin High School football here on TenbandTV. Everyone loves to bowl, so why not do it while celebrating your birthday? Birthday party packages are available now. Legacy Lanes also offers online lane reservations. Go to their website at legacylanes.us and make your reservation for some bowling fun. There are also opportunities to join league play year-round. Visit Legacy Lanes at 5024 Curry Road or give them a call at 412-653-2695.
There it is. Force equals mass times acceleration.
And you also see velocity in there. There was acceleration and velocity after the collision, and velocity in favor of Baldwin's Brady Schaefer. And Lions keeping the offense out here. Plasko may just try to run this clock out or get ball in the jump, and there's a flag on the far side of the field. Going to be a false start against the offense. And we'll stay where we are. And here we go. As I feel this may be the final play of the half. Plasko out of the gun. Looks to throw. Steps up and fires underneath. Catch, and it's actually incomplete through the hands of Gavin Schmitz. So I lied to you. And it won't be the first time I was wrong. But it was not the last play of the opening half, even though South Fayette tried to make it that way. Baldwin will get one more play with 8 ticks left on the second quarter clock.
Well, I don't know if Valentine can make it all the way to the end zone for some sort of Hail Mary, but maybe you have
some trickery.
20-yard little hook and ladder.
Hook and ladder. Dial up Varsity Blues, call for the oop-de-oop.
I want the signal from the sideline. You can't see that on the air, but I was doing the Varsity Blues signal.
Here we go. Baldwin. We've seen Dana Brown pull the trickery out a couple of times. And they will set it up 1st and 10 from their 42. Galantine out of the gun, 4 receivers. Fuller the single back. Galantine feeling pressure, steps up. He is sacked, ball loose. Recovered, and that will probably do the half. As Galantine got taken down from behind, strip sack by Jonathan Hoskins, the freshman for South Fayette. And the ball recovered by Baldwin's Brody Schaefer. So It would be a big loss. That will be the end of the half. Thank you.
You willed it into existence, Matt.
Trying. 2 quarters in the books here from Whitehall. And at Baldwin High School Stadium, it is South Fayette with a 35-point second quarter that has a 42-7 lead at the break. We'll be back. A little bit of showcase of the bands, and we'll recap the first half as well. You're watching Friday Night Football live on TenbandTV.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Pass Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
A wonderful day!
Welcome to Temple Strength and Sport Performance, where we empower you to reach new heights in strength, speed, and athletic performance. Temple is here to support you every step of the way, Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, join him in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania and discover the difference. For more information, call 412-527-1755. Start your journey with us today.
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Do you have
Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero! Back here at Baldwin, halftime, thanks to the South Fayette Little Mean Green Machine Marching Band for entertaining us previously. Big props for playing Skillet. If you're ever at a professional wrestling show, I come out to Monster from Skillet. Kevin, now we get the award-winning Baldwin High School Marching Band.
Well, last Saturday, there was a Norwin's band competition, and Baldwin won first place in the 2A competition. So, fresh off that win at that band competition,
let's turn it over to him. The Baldwin High School Highlander Marching Band will entertain you here on TenbandTV.
So let us ask ourselves, what kind of people do we think we are? And let us answer, free people, worthy of freedom, and determined not only to remain so, but to help others gain their freedom as well.
All I know was just a break in the wall.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
All I know it was all just bricks in the wall.
Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
We will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail.
The band is under the instruction of Mr. Zach George, assisted by Emery Palmer, along with staff Katie Russell, Sierra Leonard, Joseph Bonity, Sam Marsteller, Riley Debsky, Marcus Bonavita, and Zane Woodell.
Take out those 50-50 tickets. We will be announcing the winners shortly.
Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham! Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
Here is the 50-50 number. On a purple ticket,
Discover
we
the
have
heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save.
505.
At Mount
Once
Washington
again,
Shop and Save,
on a
we're
purple
more than
ticket,
just a grocery store.
529.
We're your neighborhood destination.
505.
From the freshest local
If you
produce to
have
gourmet
that
delights,
ticket,
we've got
take
it
it to
all
the
under
Spirit
one
booth
roof.
and collect your
Experience convenience,
$335.
quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Back here at Baldwin at the half. And this Allegheny 6 conference play starter tonight. It is South Fayette leading Baldwin by the count of 42-7. Alongside Kevin Zielmanski, Matt Vandriak with you here tonight. Friday Night Football live on TenbandTV. Kevin, 7-0 was the score after the first quarter, and then the Lions opened the floodgates in quarter number 2.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. And it was a 38-yard TD pass, Drew Welhorski to Daniel Specka at 3:54 of the first quarter. Got the extra point, put the Lions up 7-0. And then they were roaring up and down the field on offense and defense in the second quarter, Matt. It was a 49-yard TD run by Aiden Wright, who just refused to go down. He was rumbling, bumbling, spinning, breaking tackles down the right sideline. 46 seconds into the second quarter. That made it 14-0. And then just 8 seconds later on an attempted screen pass, Tyson Wright, defensive end, picked it off and waltzed into the end zone from 20 yards out. Extra point good. That made it 21-0 at the 58-second mark of the second quarter. And then it was a 24-yard fumble return by Anthony Charles after a terrific form tackle by Jacob Bastian, I believe it was. Or Tyson Wright, excuse me. Wright with the form tackle and Charles with the touchdown return, scooping the score at 2:42, 28-0. And then Bo Stover on a 7-yard run at the 7:49 mark made it 35-0. And then Braden Plasko got a turnover, ran it to the 1-yard line, and then he stayed in at the quarterback on the sneak from 1 yard out at 8:49. Extra point was good, 42-0. And then on a screen pass, Max Galantine to Noah Sakani, 87 yards, touchdown play for the Baldwin Highlanders. Extra point was good at 9:09, 42-7.
Ball's not far enough to go, and it's out of bounds either way. So we're going to have a procedure call against Baldwin. And you mentioned it, got a...
You were on mute there for a second at the beginning.
Thanks. Yeah, I was back. So we got the Highlanders trying the onside kick and out of bounds. So procedure, the call against Baldwin will give South Fayette the option of either taking it at the spot or electing for a re-kick. I think they're going to take it at the spot.
We will have a running clock.
We will. Still mercy rules enacted. We will have a running clock here through the second half once we get it started. 2 other games in the Allegheny 6 Conference tonight. Moon leads Bethel Park 20-7 at the half. And the big game, probably the biggest game in the WPIAL so far this season, Upper St. Clair and Peters Township tied 10-10 at the half. Keep you updated on those. So now we're going to add the penalty onto the.
That'll be first and 10 for the Lions at the Fighting Highlanders.
I'm not understanding. Regardless, South Fayette with the ball, starting at the Baldwin 42-yard line.
I think they tacked the 5 yards on where the ball went out of bounds.
Agreed. We also see Logan Deedison at quarterback. Deedis, the 5'8", 125-pound sophomore, takes over out of the shotgun here. Comes a handoff off the right side, and working his way up the middle is Sean Rowland.
Get his hands off to
Senior back. So Rowland,
he's stopped by 7, Max Gallen.
5'5", 136-pound senior. Getting some work here for the Lions tonight. So our third quarterback here of the evening, after we saw Plasko. We see Logan Deedison.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
2 gained on the run by Rowland. It'll be 2nd and 8 here for the Lions at the Baldwin 41. Deedis out of the gun. Shifts the man in motion from right to left. Going to give to Rowland. And Baldwin ready for it. Who else? Dreon Fuller. Swallows him up in the backfield. TFL got some help on the play from Josiah Parker as well.
Good play there by Fuller, get into the backfield, making a TFL. And man, I don't, when you get down to the 2s and 3s, you're going to let them run their offense, and if they score, I don't think anybody has a problem with that at that point. I think the staff is going to try to run it, but you understand that you're further down the depth chart, and you're going to give those players a chance for some experience and some playing time, and everyone's okay with that.
3rd and 12 coming up here for South Fayette. The clock is running. No stoppage of the clock here on the mercy rule. As we get it set up here.
They will work the clock to the final 5 seconds.
Looking to throw. Deedis swings it out of the backfield. Catch made underneath. And getting back to the original line of scrimmage.
Dennis pass is complete to 9.
Is Gavin Schmitz.
The staple of the South Fayette offense, man, is kind of a tunnel screen where they make sure to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage so the other receivers on that side of the field can get downfield and block, and the intended receiver comes back and runs like a little curl, and the tackle is made by Baldwin. It's now 4th and 10.
Joe Coates on the stop. And the Lions will set up here like they're looking to go for it, perhaps. Now Pooch punt. And a good one. Scooped up at the 17-yard line by Baldwin's Tyler Dayub, and he comes out across the 20 out near the 25 where he's stacked up by the Lions on the far side of the field. We get a flag flying in here behind the play.
Goes to 4, Tyler Dayub. There's a flag on the play.
As we get going here in this second half. Call might be against the Highlanders. The flag was near midfield.
Personal foul. Return team. Unnecessary contact away from the play. Ball be spotted 15 yards.
Some frustration there. Walk away from the play, and that's going to cost Baldwin 15.
Half the distance to the goal.
It's going to be half the distance to the goal.
Referees on lookout for that after unfortunate play last week, so.
Always watching to see what's going on. I said the flag was way behind the play. It was really near midfield. There's a couple guys engaged after play there, and
that'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure why either, but
it was on the referee's whistle. The clock started.
Here we go.
Because of the penalty.
Hand off to Fuller, nothing doing. As the South Fayette defense there to stop it.
It's a fumble on the snap.
Ball was actually fumbled.
Recovers it.
Galentine recovered.
Loss of 2 in the play.
Brady Onda for South Fayette was in the area for the Lions. As get ready here. Galentine. Galentine that is. Hands off, and South Fayette ready for it.
The handoff is to one Jordan Bryant.
Into the backfield as Bryant got the call.
Stopped by 56,
South Fayette's Jackson Stilley, who's still making his presence felt, making that stop.
Brings up 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15 for the Highlanders back at the Baldwin 9-yard line. Rolling clock here in this second half. And Highlanders slow to the line here.
Galantine doing the old when Kenny Pickett was at Pitt, running to the sideline to get the play. He's new at the position. So you want to get the play right from the OC's mouth and back to the huddle.
Galantine's hands are probably bigger too. As he gets ready to throw, Galantine tossing down the near sideline for Sakani in triple coverage. He tries to come back and can't make the catch, but a flag on the play. Out in coverage there for South Fayette was Gavin Schmitz, as well as Tegan Cahill. And a flag on the play, and it's going to go against South Fayette. So Sakani was trying to come back for the ball there, Kevin, and his progress was impeded.
Yeah, they often talk about when you throw it a little bit short and your receiver's trying to work his way back, he put out his arms, and he had a couple steps on the defenders, and they were recovering, and they put their arms over his and
yards from the previous spot.
Interfered with his ability to make the catch. So it's not a first down.
Get a redo here for the Highlanders, at least get another chance at it. That that is a first down. I was going to say, I don't get all the rules because there's so many different changes on the different levels of football, but yeah, that was a first down.
Should have been.
Out to the 23. And this play is dead to rights.
Handoff is to 22.
No chance right there.
No, Schaefer got the carry, and he got swallowed in the backfield by Jackson Stilley. So Stilley's having himself a nice night, Kevin. He's been having a good night versus the A team, the B team, JV team. He's made a lot of tackles tonight. He's number 56 for South Fayette.
Yeah, he's adding to his defensive stats here, Jackson Stilley. 6 foot, 225 OLDL listed on the roster. See him out there right now at that right defensive end position, and he was in the backfield for that one.
2nd and 14 as we're halfway through this third quarter.
23's, is he hanging his shoulder? No, okay.
It's Alex Douglas coming off one of the Baldwin backups. Galantine has a little bit of time, across the middle, has a man through the hands of Jordan Bryant. And that's the case there, Kevin, where Bryant was looking where he was going to run before he hauled that ball in.
Or was looking at whether or not he was going to absorb any contact, and they had a chance there running a little post to the middle of the field. He elevated, jumped for it, got his hands on it. He's really going to regret not pulling that one in. That would have been first down for the Highlanders. They would have moved the chains again as now we're 3rd and 14 as we're under halfway to go here, third quarter, running clock.
42-7, South Fayette leads. The Lions led 7-0 after the opening quarter in what was probably Baldwin's best quarter of football this season. And South Fayette put 35 on the board in the second quarter, including back-to-back defensive touchdowns, Kevin, and a fumble recovery that gave the Lions the ball on the Baldwin 1-yard line.
Yep, an interception return and a scoop and score. And then a third one, as you mentioned, in a sense, was a touchdown.
Looking to throw, Galantine rolls to his right, gets away from the first man, then he gets hit hard on the far side of the field, and I believe that was Stilley again.
Down at the line of scrimmage. Stop by 50, Evan Early.
And also in on the play there was Evan Early, sophomore. Stilley got it started, and Early finished it up. So Early was late, but finished the play.
See what you did there. The sophomore, 6'3", 247.
Well, they feeding these guys out in South Fayette. Goodness. Looking to kick. It's going to be Steverson. Short kick. Up man, steps up on the play, trying to find some room here for South Fayette. That's Braden Cernicki. Oh. Cernicki comes back the other way, and I think every Baldwin player got a piece of him before Dylan Klikowski and Ryan Summerfield combined to make the tackle.
Jordan Bryant missed the initial opportunity to make a tackle, and he got up, and he was a heat-seeking missile looking for him, and he avoided Bryant, and Bryant ran into a teammate, and that's my reaction was to that.
Good start for South Fayette. They will be at the Baldwin 44.
First and 10 for the Lions.
As we're down to 3:35 with this rolling third quarter clock. South Fayette setting it up on the offensive. And we still have Logan Detus in a quarterback. Out of the gun. Detus to throw. Has a man. Catch made inside the 30, inside the 25, the 20, the 10, the 5, the end zone. Touchdown, South Fayette. Tegan Cahill, the freshman, takes it to the house. So some of the South Fayette underclassmen making it happen. Sophomore Logan Detus, freshman Tegan Cahill, 6 for the Lions, and it's 48-7 in favor of South Fayette.
Well, another one-play drive for the Lions as their offense is clicking. And as you mentioned, a good 44-yard touchdown pass from Detus to Cahill. Probably see that in the JV game. And here they are on Friday night doing it in a varsity game, so good for them.
PAT, South Fayette. And we get a bad snap here. As looking to add to his impressive night, Luke Gillen, 6 for 6 on the evening. I probably just jinxed him.
Encroachment, defense, penalties decline, replay the untimed.
Another big game tonight, 6A matchup between Central Catholic and North Allegheny. The Vikings were leading the Tigers 7-3 at the half in that one. Let's see, PAT try here. And Gillen gets it, breaks the broadcaster's curse, and hits his 7th point after. It's 49-7 in favor of South Fayette. So see the backups get a little bit of playing time, and a nice looking play design there on the touchdown strike from Detus to Cahill.
So because of the running clock, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So the point we were making, Matt and I was a PHL coach and I'm an advisor still, and a few years back we developed a formula which takes into factor different data points, enrollment, and success point, not points, but success formula based on winning percentage over 4 years. And we rank them from 1 to whatever it is. I'm going to say 60 for this conversation, and then you split 3A, 2A, 1A. 1A ends up being a little bit bigger than the other ones. We usually go with 11 and 3A, and this year 11 and 2A. But the point is, you can have a school like Baldwin, the 5A enrollment, with
playing
few
2A
players. They could be playing, if you would apply it to football.
Kickoff here real quick as this one's knocking the return man back inside the 10. Bouncing off of tackles. Brian, he gets out to the 20, and then he keeps moving all the way out to the 25 before being wrestled down by South Fayette's Luca Romanelli. Anyway, Kevin, continue.
So maybe Baldwin could slot in as a 2A or a 3A football program based on their winning percentage over the last so many years.
And their roster size.
And their roster size would be more comparable to schools at that level. Now, schools at that level will probably whine and complain because they're a bigger school, but it's not just, it can't be just enrollment because you end up with bad situations sometimes, and this is one of them. And you say that down in the D.C. area, we'll
touch on that here. Yeah, and not just D.C. area. I know for a fact it's in D.C. area, but I know other areas, other states do that as well. As we get Baldwin starting here, 1st and 10 from their 25. Galantine gives to Fuller, and he's going to roll forward for a couple of yards. Tackled by the inside of the defense there for South Fayette. That's Evan Early as well as Preston Yater on the tackle. But a few years back, 2018 it was, when Woodland Hills started doing the high school football showcase games at the Wolverina. They brought McKinley Tech in from D.C. to play Aliquippa, which was the game that I called. And I got to talk to McKinley Tech's coach. And I was looking back through their previous seasons and saw they went from 2A to 1A to 1A and back to 2A. And I asked if they realign every year, and he said they do. And it was based on the fact they had a 2A season, but they were not successful. The next season, they came back with a smaller roster, so they bumped to 1A, had a successful playoff season in 1A with the bigger roster, and moved back up to 2A. Going to throw, Galantine, backside pressure, picked up, deep ball, looking for Sakani, who has to wait for it, but he makes the catch into South Fayette territory, brought down inside the 35. So a big play for Sakani, tackle made by Gavin Schmitz. But Sakani, like a center fielder, Kevin, had to wait for the fly ball to get there. Otherwise, he could have turned that one into points.
He continues to create separation in his pattern. He gets behind the secondary. And Valentine gets it out there, but he does, or Galantine, excuse me, gets it out there, but he does have to wait for it. But a big chunk play again for Sakani, who's well over 100 yards, and another first down for Baldwin. So the point you're making, Matt, is there are ways.
There's ways to do it.
That, you know, there should be discussions to have all options on the table because.
We go to South Fayette. I'm going to timeout, so we'll keep it here because here's the thing. You have teams that are getting forced off. Aliquippa, as I just mentioned, being one of those teams. Aliquippa is a 1A school playing a 3A, voluntarily playing up to 3A, and we're almost forced to play 5A because of their success. So if you're going to reward a team for success, you shouldn't punish a team for lack of success.
Well, I was going to say, if you're going to force schools to go higher based on success points, along with transfers, then you should also take in consideration the opposite effect of teams that have a lack of success that maybe need to play in a level that is more conducive for them to be competitive.
Right. It allows you to play with your roster. You have 30 kids on a 5A roster.
The goal should be to have competitive games and not running clocks. And that's because these kids work hard all summer, all spring, all summer, and you don't want your season to be shortened so much every week.
And then the fact that if we get a handoff here, and that's Bryant through the middle, inside the 20, still on his feet inside the 15, and he gets down to the 13-yard line. Tackle made by South Fayette's Colt Kozar. But a good piece of running there by Jordan Bryant. The other end of it too, Kevin, is when you have a small roster and you have to play offense, defense, and special teams like a lot of these players on Baldwin have to, you're risking injuries. And that's really what it comes down to. And that's what part of the reason why this whole situation with Baldwin came to light, because parents are starting to get concerned with the number of reps their kids had to play because of the lack of bodies. And Baldwin has two choices. You either put out there what you have and guys have to play 95% of the snaps, or you start forfeiting games.
Number 67, Baldwin. Unnecessary contact away from the play.
You've got a penalty against the Highlanders, so that's going to take some off of the edge of that. The end of that nice run there by Jordan Bryant.
Yeah, it was a well-blocked play.
Too well-blocked.
A counter. I think he was continuing the block after the play ended with that. I think Coach Brown went back to his McKeesport days, went into the playbook for that one.
But there are ways to do it better. And then the other option, of course, is that you just pull out of the WPIAL and you play an independent schedule. We've seen Butler do that as they were playing up to 6A because of their enrollment when they had less than 40 players on a 6A roster.
There was a time Butler was the largest school in the WPIAL at one time.
That's going to end the third quarter. So with that, we'll take a break, and we'll be back with your final quarter of action here from Baldwin. Your score after 3, it's South Fayette 49 and Baldwin 7. You're watching Friday Night Football live here on TenbandTV. Back here at Baldwin, fourth quarter getting underway. And the Highlanders trailing South Fayette 49-7 in the kickoff here of Class 5A Allegheny 6 conference play. Friday Night Football live here on TenbandTV. Matt Vandriak, Kevin Zielmanski, left to right, Baldwin with the ball. And down the sideline, Bryant. A nice run inside the 10. Bumped out at about the 8 by South Fayette's Gavin Schmitz. And a flag flying after the player. That's a football. That's a flag. Kevin, just one score in that third quarter went to the Lions. As we saw the underclassmen duo hook up. Logan Detus and Tegan Cahill.
Good passing play there for the Lions.
And we get back at it here as they sort it out.
Both teams have a foul on the play. Number 60
Setting
on
penalties.
the defense. Number 77 on the offense. Personal foul, unnecessary. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Those penalties offset.
All right. So we'll get that squared up and stay where we are. So Baldwin in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the South Fayette 13-yard line. Galantine under center for the deep back this time. Single wides out to each side. Galantine steps back.
There it is.
And up the gut, Fuller. Inside the 5, all the way down to about the 4-yard line. Picks up 9. And that'll be 2nd and 1.
Talking about that earlier, Matt, that the center's not really covered all the time in that defense they're playing, and he's going to have some opportunities to go straight ahead. Took a while, but it was a good run there. Picked up 5.
And it'll be 2nd and 2 from the 5-yard line.
So I picked up 8 on 5.
Comes Fuller again off the right side, and he should have a Highlanders first down, so he'll get down to the 3. And it'll be 1st and goal for Baldwin.
27, Gio Vezio.
Highlanders knocking on the door here. What we, talking about what we talked about here with, roster size and issues. Fox Chapel in the same boat, another team that's a 5A school that has had minimal success at football and smaller roster than the teams they're playing, and they had a 8-minute quarter contest for the majority of their game tonight against the tough Pine Richland team. Fuller up the gut, into the end zone, touchdown, Baldwin, 3 on Fuller with a 6-point plunge. And Baldwin cuts the deficit now to 49-13 as Breon Fuller finds pay dirt.
Well, we talked about Fuller earlier in the game, just good straight ahead running, and he did that right there. Only needed to pick up 2, plunging into the end zone for the second Baldwin touchdown of the game here in the 4th quarter with 9:19 to go.
And back on for the PAT is Jack Zugatis. Zugatis, first the holder Sakani going to get on the right side. He's ready to snap it from the switch hitting. Oh, it's going to be a fake. Sakani looking to throw in no man's land, going to chuck it up for the and it's incomplete. He was looking for the kicker, trying to find Zugatis, and it goes through his hands. It was broken up as well by a South Fayette defender over there, but I don't know if it was drawn up that way, Kevin, or if Sakani just couldn't handle the snap and scrambled around for a bit and tried to find the kicker. Jack Zugatis for the 2-point try does not go, so with 9:19 left here in the 4th, it's 49-13 in favor of South Fayette. We'll let you know. TenbandTV is your home for PIHL high school hockey. We got 1,000 games this year. All right, maybe more like 100. But regardless, the first games, that's right, puck drop of the regular season, Monday, September 29th, from the Barrow Complex in Warrendale. 7 o'clock, West Allegheny hosts Avonworth, followed up by a 9 p.m. face-off between Mars and South Park. Your home for PIHL high school hockey is TenbandTV, so make sure you tune it in, man. Chris Jericho for you there.
A couple of schools that were in Penguin Cup Single A championship game last year in Avonworth and Mars.
Got that going. But I think just to maybe close our point on, WPIAL has had this enrollment being the only factor on where teams are seated at, and it's not working. And it's not just with what we're seeing in front of us or what happened with Fox Chapel this week or Springdale having to forfeit a game because of a small roster, because there's a lot of one-sided games. And remember, before they started to schedule these games based on where teams faced at, you had some awful matchups where Clareton was playing Mapletown and stuff along those lines. It's better the way it is now, but it still can be improved. And I think you really need to factor into it success and roster size, and maybe even to follow the PIHL model, maybe you have an open division where teams like Baldwin, Fox Chapel, the Fayette County schools that are playing independent, Springdale in their short numbers, can all just play each other and have competitive games while they rebuild their programs.
Yeah, I don't know what classification you would call it. Or
open class.
But
my years of football took me through District 9 up in North Central PA. The Allegheny Mountain League that I used to cover had teams from 1A all the way through 3A that played each other through the regular season. So that was what it was. Then when the state playoffs started, the teams that were qualifiers, kind of like the City League, would make the playoffs based on their classification. Now, these teams would not be eligible for the WPIAL playoffs, so they're going to play a non-WPIAL schedule, but I think it would give these teams a chance to play competitive games and build confidence and rebuild their rosters. That's why Butler dropped, because they didn't have enough players. There was no interest in the program. They were getting killed every week. And they've rebuilt the program, and they've had success. They were kind of a pseudo District 10 member for a while. As we get a handoff here off the left side and into South Fayette territory there.
The goal is
Colt Kozar.
Play competitive games, you can drum up interest from more athletes to join the team,
right?
And then start building a foundation. And I think that's, schools like
that was Nathan McKenzie on the carry, by the way. I must correct myself.
Schools like Baldwin and some of the other ones you were mentioning, they're not thinking about winning a WPIAL title at this point. That's not.
No, they just want to have enough guys to get through the season.
That's not on their radar.
And like you said about the work these kids put in, make it worth their while. It's got to focus on what the importance of this is, and it's the student athletes. Not just from the safety aspect of it, but people don't want to play. You don't want to put all the grind and the work and the 2-a-days in the summer heat and the heat acclimation and playing summer football in pads, giving up your summer break to come out and get killed every week. Handoff off the right side for South Fayette. And that's going to be Nathan McKenzie again, picking up the first down. So good-looking freshman running back, another one. Nathan McKenzie, the 5'10", 172-pound frosh.
And that's what drives the interest in students wanting to play, participate, and get to have the lessons of team sports.
Right.
The interest in the community to show up and watch, to support it, and
make it competitive and fun and safe. And you can play against teams that have similar roster sizes. And we've covered all that needs to be covered. I'm just going to be fair. I think the PIHL formula works. I think that what they do in D.C. and other areas works. And, the other part of the factors, it's the PIAA that regulates teams as well, as we get a handoff here up the middle. And fighting forward is Sean Rowland.
Not a bad second half here for Baldwin, Matt, against the depth players for the Lions.
Joe Waska made that tackle for the Highlanders.
Putting up 13 points, not getting shut out.
Right. Played a good first quarter, too. That's one thing you really can look back at, is they played a good first quarter against South Fayette's ones.
Looking ahead for South Fayette.
Big one next week, neighborhood rival, Upper St. Clair.
My papers were behind
Baldwin has to take the road for 2 weeks. They have Bethel Park and Moon coming up to the Highlanders. 2nd and 7 from the from the Baldwin 39. And here comes Rowland again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
South Fayette started with 3 road games, so that means they get to end with 3 home games. Peters, Bethel, and Moon on the 10th, 17th, and 24th of October.
Again on the play to be 3rd and 7, 39.
So, no gain. Brings up 3rd and 7 from the Baldwin 39.
Under 6 to go here, 4th quarter.
Running clock. And South Fayette slow to the offense, as they've got a lot of their JV guys some opportunity here to get some varsity reps, get some varsity stats, get some varsity points too. And a little swing pass here to the outside, catch made, crossing the 35 inside the 30, breaking tackles inside the 25, and all the way down to the 22-yard line there was Jackson Tallarico.
That's a South Fayette first down.
See that play once again. 22. Kind of a little comeback curl. Sometimes you see it if they run further, a tunnel screen, but I've seen South Fayette run that in their offense for a number of years now.
One of the younger guys run it to success as well.
Yeah, and the key is to get behind that side judge, behind that line.
First and 10 from the Baldwin 22. Ditas, shotgun set. High snap. Ditas hands off. Highlanders ready for it. And into the backfield to make the tackle is Dreon Fuller. And that handoff went to the Lions' Hunter Williams, another freshman. A lot of different ball carriers out there. Kevin, elsewhere around the Allegheny 6, the big game of the night is living up to the bill, coming down to the wire. Fourth quarter, Upper St. Clair 20, Peters Township 17.
Matt, do you remember where they started this drive?
I do not. Second and 13 from the 25 of Baldwin here for the Lions. Ditas out of the gun. Hard count here. Hands it off. Trying the right side is Nathan McKenzie. And the Highlanders with a good gang tackle for a loss there. Galantine, one of the first guys in there. Had some help on the play as well from Joshua Stout. How about this one, Kevin? Another big battle in the Parkway Conference. The resurgent Newcastle Red Hurricanes have a 12-6 fourth quarter lead over Aliquippa. And Bethel Park has battled back in the second half. Two thrillers in the Allegheny 6. The Blackhawks and Moon tied at 20 in the fourth quarter. Third and 17 for South Fayette. As we see, Logan Ditas just played the bulk of the second half out of the shotgun. Deep back is freshman Nathan McKenzie. See the Lions take this one all the way down. They're running as much time off the clock as they can. Ditas feeling some pressure, and he's going down in the backfield. Baldwin breaking through. Joe Coates gets the sack.
Well, they tried to set up the middle screen, letting the pressure up the middle. Coates got there before they were able to get rid of that. So a big TFL right there for Baldwin. As the band leader was leading the cheers, or they believe in Baldwin. Again, these are all part of the experience.
Yes. Speaking of the experience, if you heard or not, but Keeman Spell, speaking of McKeesport, is back tonight, and it's showing. The Tigers 33-7 over Hampton. Class 4A action. Tigers were predicted to be a 4A contender. Then Mr. Spell got hurt in the second game of the season. They almost upset Upper St. Clair without him last week. And now with Cayman Spell back, McKeesport, the Tigers, they're growling, they're roaring. Tigers love cinnamon, but they hate pepper. Kevin, did you know that? I don't know about the McKeesport Tigers. I'm sure they probably like some pepper too. I like pepper. I also like cinnamon. It's not the same thing. Timeout on the field here by the Lions. To give us one more chance to say thank you to the Craft House Stage and Grill for being an advertising partner for Baldwin football here on TenbandTV. The Craft House brings you unforgettable nights of live music, specializing in talent both close to home and from across the country. Stop by to enjoy the Craft House's menu of scrumptious, scratch-made food that will keep you coming back for more, along with a wide selection of beverage choices with something in mind for everyone. The Craft House also has late-night happy hour on Fridays and Saturdays from 11 p.m. until 1 a.m., featuring half off of 20 delicious menu items. Stop by the Craft House Stage and Grill, 5024 Curry Road, or check them out online at crafthousepgh.com.
My younger days, I'd be all about that late night half off.
Yeah, and you might catch the end of No Bad Juju tonight. Of course, Sunday, stop by the Craft House. Steelers and Vikings Ireland Watch Party. Doors open at 9 a.m. with plenty of game day specials.
What time do festivities begin at Shea Vandriak?
We're going to start at 8:30. Well, I'm going to start at 8:30. South Fayette going to punt. And getting away from it there is Sakani, ball loose. And
did it hit a Highlander?
I don't think so.
Once the ball is down on the Fighting Highlander,
It's going to just be down, so Sakani did a nice job of getting out of the way. So the last time the Steelers played in Ireland was July 29th of 1997. Preseason game.
July, wow.
Yeah, that was when your 5th preseason game was that early. Bill Cowher was coaching. Jerome Bettis, he was not no head of lettuce, as Myron Cope once said. And Steelers, I don't remember what the score was or what happened, but I know I was on vacation in Florida, but found time to watch that game. I know the Steelers played an overseas game of 2013 or 2014. Didn't go well against the Vikings. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. Regardless, I am ready.
Vikings have a good team.
With a backup quarterback. As J.J. McCarthy's out again this week, so it'll be Carson Wentz who put up 49 against the Bengals.
There's some whispers up there that maybe McCarthy's healthy, but they don't want to put him back in.
Swing pass out of the backfield. Sakani making the catch, weaves his way through the defenders across the 20, out to the 25 and then the 26, so a big gain of almost 20 on the play. Tackle made by South Fayette Sawyer Dean.
Fuller having a hard time there. So, do some work where I see a lot of the PAC schools, the local Division III schools, and somebody needs to come and see Mr. Sakani.
Yeah.
Because I think he could
help you out.
He could contribute
Indeed.
at that level.
Okay, we talked about the Craft House and a lot that's going on there. Of course, Steel Moon Fever, a Tom Petty tribute band playing there Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Doors open at 6. Maybe something you want to get tickets for. We'll talk about after this play. Is Galantine dialing up the deep ball into triple coverage, and it is incomplete, broken up by South Fayette's Jackson Tallarico. Monday, September 29th, 8 p.m. at the Craft House. Bass Drum of Death.
Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Bass Drum of Death, Kevin.
That must be a scary-looking bass drum.
I mean, it's the bass drum of death.
I'll see you there. What time do you want to meet beforehand?
What day is that?
Monday.
This tomorrow, like 2 days from now. You know what? I'm not sure.
Recovering.
Yeah, I might feel like a bass drum of death after starting Sunday morning at 8:30.
Just pick you up at Jefferson Memorial Hospital with your IV when you're done.
You know, I think I can. I don't think I'm that. I don't think I've crossed over the line that far that I need those kind of repercussions. As that will wrap up our game here. I think that's going to do it. Yep, there's the final whistle. So Baldwin, South Fayette kickoff, Allegheny 6 conference play, and the Lions 35-point second quarter puts them in the fast lane en route to a 49-13 victory here over the Highlands. We will take a quick break. We will be back to recap it, and we'll talk about, I don't know, bass drum of death and other exciting things as well whenever we come back. You are watching WPIAL High School Football. It's Friday Night Football Live here on TenbandTV. Back here at Baldwin Whitehall Area High School Stadium, putting the finishing touches on this Allegheny 6 conference opener as South Fayette knocks off the Highlanders by the final score of 49-13. Friday Night Football live here on TenbandTV. Matt Vandriak, Kevin Zielmanski. Kevin, 7-0 after the first quarter. South Fayette a 35-point outburst in the second half en route to a 49-13 W here tonight.
Yeah, first quarter touchdown, 38-yard pass. Drew Welhorski to Daniel Specka. Extra point good, 7-0. In the second quarter, 49-yard TD run by Aiden Wright. 20-yard interception return by Tyson Wright. 24-yard fumble return by Anthony Charles. A 7-yard TD run by Bo Stover. A 1-yard TD run by Braden Plasko. And that made it 42-0 until Baldwin got the first touchdown on a Max Galantine to Noah Sakani, 87-yard catch and run. Extra point was good, 42-7 at the half. In the third quarter, 44-yard pass, Logan Ditas to Tegan Cahill. Extra point made it 49-7. And then Baldwin's Dreyon Fuller, 2 yards out in the fourth quarter. 2-point attempt was no good, 42-13 for the Highlanders. They will be at Bethel Park next week, at Moon the week after, and then they close out the regular season and their season on the 17th against Peters Township here, and Upper St. Clair on the 24th. We'll be back for those. For the Lions, they are at Upper St. Clair next week before hosting 3 consecutive home games, Peters, Bethel, and Moon.
That's the road ahead. That's the wrap tonight. So South Fayette, the Lions now improving to 5-1 on the season. Get a victory here in Allegheny 6 conference play. Baldwin, the streak goes on. Losing streak has now reached a WPIAL record, well, longest in the WPIAL, 25 games. Springdale and Valley have joined the 20s club as well. They both have 20-game losing streaks. For those of you listening or watching at home who want a piece of history, I just dropped it on you. To close out, Kevin, Steelers game in Minnesota. The Steelers game in London was in 2013. They did lose to the Vikings. Thanks to my cousin Marcy, our New Hampshire demographic chiming in there. It was also the day after my brother's bachelor party. I could have probably used the IV that day because I remember the only thing worse than the Steelers was how I felt. Anyway, final score here from Baldwin. South Fayette 49, Baldwin 13 for our production crew. Todd Kazarowski and Kennedy Kazarowski on production and camera. Jared Todd Hunter, Dustin Beck on camera. And there's one more, Scott. What's your last name? Scott Bartlett. There we go. See, I had it all to the last one. Thanks to our crew. Thanks to Kevin. Thanks to you for tuning in. I'm Matt. Have a good night. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Football Friday Night Live on TenbandTV. Good night, everyone. Green looking to throw here. Welhorski dumps it off underneath. Catch made by Specka. Blockers in front. Specka down the sideline inside the 5. Touchdown, South Fayette. It takes 2 plays for the Lions to roar. And Daniel Specka last year. Looking to throw. Galantine down the middle. Has a man. Catch made by Sakani. Into South Fayette territory. Brought down at the 30-yard line. Max Galantine. Noah Sakani, and the Highlanders are in business. Green underneath, catch made by Bo Stover. Shake and bake, first down across midfield, coming back to the near side. Stover breaks another tackle inside the 30, the 25, and he's brought down at the 20 on a touchdown-saving tackle by Tyler Dayub.
Didn't run.
Out of the shotgun now, looking to throw. Welhorski has time, backside pressure coming, steps up, fires, has a man on the cross. It's the hands, and it's intercepted. Back the other way for Baldwin is Noah Sakani, and he gets to the 30-yard line. So coming in quarter number 1. Here comes the handoff right off the right side. Breaking tackles inside the 40, inside the 35, spins inside the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, to the end zone. Touchdown, South Fayette. Cost them 18 yards. He's going to push, 15 yards to push them back to the 15. Low snap, Galantine scoops it up, and it's picked off out of the air by South Fayette to the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. Here in the opening half, Fuller gets the call. South Fayette ready for it. Fuller breaks the tackle, now pushing him backwards, and a nice tackle there by Tyson Wright. Ball loose. Lions back the other way, and they're going to score. Alex can't confirm that, but we'll try to. Under center. Here comes the handoff up the middle. Right cuts to the end zone. Touchdown, South Fayette. And it's Bo Stover.
But the Bunnocks can help over there. I'll use them to try to get the number identification here.
2nd and 8, 2 yards gained by Galantine, and the snap not ready. Ball on the ground. Lions have it, and they're going to spot the defender down. Still there this evening, even though he said we're moving everybody around. QB keeper and pushing into the end zone here is Braden Plasko. So Plasko in at quarterback, and he pushes it in from off the soapbox now. Sakady makes the catch. Sakady with blockers. Sakady is going the distance. Touchdown, Baldwin. 87-yard touchdown strike. On Roland the deep back. And Roland will get the carry. Actually, nice fake. Plasko, the second South Fayette quarterback to fake me out tonight, going to call his own number, and he gets popped. Stepping up and bringing the boom, Brody Schaefer. He just out of the gun. Shifts a man in motion from right to left. Going to give to Roland, and Baldwin ready for it. Who else? Dreon Fuller. Swallows him up in the backfield. TFL got some help on the play. Scooped up at the 17-yard line by Baldwin's Tyler Dayub, and he comes out across the 20, out near the 25, where he's stacked up by the Lions on the far side of the field. We got a flag.
Back to the huddle.
Galantine's hands are probably bigger, too. As he gets ready to throw, Galantine tossing down the near sideline for Sakady in triple coverage. He tries to come back and can't make the catch, but a flag on the play. Out in coverage there for South Fayette was Gavin Schmitz. Looking to throw, Galantine rolls to his right, gets away from the first man, then he gets hit hard on the far side of the field, and I believe that was Stilley again. Going to throw, Galantine backside pressure picked up, deep ball looking for Sakady, who has to wait for it, but he makes the catch into South Fayette territory, brought down inside the 35. Yeah, you don't want your
season to be shortened so much every week.
Then the fact that we get a handoff here, and that's Bryant through the middle, inside the 20, still on his feet inside the 15, and he gets down to the 13-yard line. Tackle made by South Fayette. 8-minute quarter contest for the majority of their game tonight against the tough Pine Richland team. Fuller up the gut, into the end zone, touchdown, Baldwin, Dreon Fuller. He's ready to snap it from the switch hitting. Oh, it's going to be a fake. Sakady looking to throw in no man's land, going to chuck it up for the and it's incomplete. He was looking for the kicker, trying to find Zugaitis, and it goes.